Welcome to Drafting Out Loud. Let's do this. We finally got in our DraftKings draft here. We got a minute 30 before it starts. We got the 12th pick. Okay. That's unfortunate. We want a middle pick here because we want to try to hit on our favorite stack or bring back on DraftKings. We want to hit on uh, where is it? Brees Hall, Trevion Henderson, bring back. But at the end of a round, it's really tough because you can get Brees Hall there most likely at the end of the third, but the chances that Trevion Henderson gets to you in the fifth, pretty slim. And because he falls into the fifth so often, I think it's really tough to grab him at the beginning of the fourth round, right? Yeah, because you get Brees Hall at the beginning of the fourth round, right? So you're really kind of pulling someone up. And I've gotten this stack. I've seen other people get this stack later, so I think it's tough to take it earlier. So we're going to probably miss out on that, unfortunately. We are going to be looking for our platform values like Jordan Addison. Brees Hall at the end of the third or being the fourth still is a nice pick there, though. So that's something that we could be looking for definitely. Um, and Again, we're going to try to get some of these risers here before we lose out on all the value. Casey Concepcion, Devonta Smith, you don't get we're the chances of him falling to the fifth are slim to none now too, since he's rising, which is unfortunate, which means we got to pull him up also. I don't mind pulling him up, but um, I think we'll be forced to get unique earlier. This is the end of this season, basically, right before, and the draft has started, by the way. This is the end of the season before, what do you call it? Before Best Ball Mania. So it, you can kind of throw ADP out the window and be like, okay, let's get a unique team here that maybe not many other people have, considering Devonta Smith has been going more at the front half of the draft. You can get unique and just pull them to the back half of the draft, depending on how things go. So we'll consider it. I like Devonta Smith. I think he's still a good pick at 37, potentially. I don't know if I've done that yet. I know I did that like last year to get, like the AJ Brown Hurt stack or the Devonta Smith Hurt stack. I can't remember which one, but I remember doing that. Christian McCaffrey goes way early at 3. And again, just so you can kind of hear me complain, someone's getting Puka after 4. And again, it's not me, unfortunately. Based on our value, Taylor's a value. CD Lamb, I think they're both values, if I'm not mistaken, on DraftKings, right? Boom, there's our values. Yep, CD Lamb's a value. Jonathan Taylor's a value. They're first round picks, though, right? I think that's kind of cheating to say they're values. You get them when you get them. If you're lucky enough to be the fifth hole when Puka goes 5, you get them basically. Uh, we are going to be looking at any of these players here. So Justin Jefferson, basically, I'm kind of at the market with a lot of these players. I don't. Hopefully, Jefferson makes it to me. He didn't. I hope he takes Cook. I don't want to be. He didn't take Cook. Darn it. See, this is just a crappy place to be. I don't feel good about any of them. I'm not really overweight any of them, though. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to see. We're just going to take Cook. Why not? But what I want to see is what I got James Cook with. Because if we're going to take a player that we're not super excited about, we might as well at least get him with something different. Okay, so we're going to go Cook, Achan, Cook. No, we're not going to do it. Oh, we're going to go Cook Barkley is what we're going to do if it lets us. I do want to see what they have to say about Achan though. What's the news that I've missed, if any? Not attending. Oh, because he wants a contract extension. Okay, interesting. I'm just not drafting Achan right now. If he does get traded, maybe he just gets pumped up significantly, but I'm not really drafting him. If he stays in Miami and Miami's staying, he's going to stay there. Who knows if that's a just a negotiation tactic with the rest of the league. Saquon Barkley, was a top pick last year, kind of mistakenly based on how he played. He was a late pick the year before that, mistakenly because of how he played. He played awesome. So might as well just take Saquon Barkley. He could easily be a top pick again this year. And if we want to do the Devonta Smith thing, we could do it too. And but the tough thing is, it is tough to get Hurts at a decent price, right? I mean, Hurts is 72. So you would have to have him fall. Like you can either take him at 61 or hope he falls to 84. And neither of those are ideal if you're playing the ADP game. Do I have Devonta Smith with um Hurts on DraftKings? I assume I do. Yeah, most of my all my Devonta Smith teams have Hurts, so um won't don't feel like I gotta do something there. We do have two running backs early, which means we can kind of get aggressive at the other positions, which is it just frees us up essentially, is what it does. We actually double the field on Saquon Barkley on DraftKings here, which is interesting. Achan or Allen gets pulled up to the second round there. I think our Saquon Barkley ownership is just partially just due to how often we've been at the end of the draft. Breece Hall gets taken at the beginning of the third. I like it. I don't do it, but I like it. I should do it. I mean, that's tough. Like New York Jets are a tough offense, so he's fun when you get him late because he's a potential pass catcher and all that. Um, Grabbing Jets early though is a little rough. Rashee Rice did go at pick 21. He's pick 20, so he went basically at his ADP. This is where you can expect him to go often now, is around there. Do we have any rank? 44, we'd have to pull him up. Devonta Smith, 44, right? So, like, at the end of the draft here, you're just not getting any of the value out of the players, unfortunately. If you're trying like arbitrage underdog, you're not getting it at the back half of the draft right now. So we got going on here. Travis Etienne goes. Okay. AJ Brown is still available. That would open up, I don't know, a Philly thing, something like that. Colston Loveland goes in the third. He already goes earlier on DraftKings, and he went way early in this one. Okay. We do have a good amount of T. Higgins already, also. We're definitely going AJ Brown with the first one. And part of me wants to just do Garrett Wilson to get the bring back and maybe get something slightly different than our other teams that we've had. I like the 30 seconds here. Let's click on Garrett Wilson, Justin. And we got Garrett Wilson on our. Let's do Garrett Wilson. Why not? Although I know we've packaged James Cook and Garrett Wilson together at least one other time. Okay, we're good. That yeah, I like that more based on what we got going on. Okay. AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson. This also, if we can get like a fall on Drake May, that gives us a nice bring back for that division. If we get a fall on Philadelphia, we can maybe play it that way as well. If we could fall on both of them, we could take both of them. But we don't need to take them early either. So I think that's okay. Um, and what's his name? Burrow goes so early that you really got to pay up for Burrow at 57. Like there's zero chance. Like there's a chance that Burrow doesn't get to you at 60. I mean, probably a good chance he does if you take him. There's a good chance now that actually Burrow goes at 57 because of the Higgins draft right here. But two running back, two wide receiver. You can see that's like a kind of a standard thing people are doing. Here's a two and a two, a two and a two. This guy might go, oh, a three, a one and a three. There you go, two and a two with Bucky, right? This guy could go probably wide receiver to make him a two and a two. So you're seeing this kind of balanced approach a lot of times with the teams. You're seeing Williams go ahead of Bucky a decent amount now. I like the flower pick because then you can get what's his name? Why can't I think of his name right now? Jackson with the next pick, although I see them pass on. I see this guy, whoever this guy, not this guy specifically, but whoever the Flowers drafter, I see them oftentimes passing on Jackson. Lad McConkey goes, is Devonta Smith still available? Like, yeah, darn, like this guy's gonna get Devonta Smith, and oh, he took Lamar, so didn't give a chance. Okay, I hope he takes Devonta Smith because then that gives us a better chance of having Devonta Smith fall to 84. Not saying it would happen, but that's our out to do it. Oh, he didn't do it. Darn. That's what we wanted. If either of these two fell to us, we'd be super happy about that. Pick 73. Where are we? Is that like kind of where we're at? No. Again, we're not building the value on that there. So we wanted one of these two guys to take Devonta Smith since they have the QBs already. Or if he falls all the way to us, which he didn't. Great value on him. Pick 53. Great value. If David Montgomery fell, we'd do it. He didn't. There's Tootin who's been falling, who's there. Where's Caleb? Caleb 66. So you could do like a Rome Caleb thing. If you wanted to do that, I'd rather not do that, I think. Rope and Henderson falls, but Tootin just got taken too, which maybe a Rome Williams thing is going to be the way we go. I don't like it. I mean, these quarterbacks getting pushed up this much not a fan, but there's just not players that you want to take instead. So I guess you understand it a little bit. Does he got two, he's got two running backs. Pass on the running back. Okay, to Joe Burrow. We're going to just take best available at running back and wide receiver here, and then see what gets pushed around from there. TreVeyon Henderson at 60, I think is well, I mean, great price just based on ADP, but again, on the site where he's already a better price based on his pass catching, uh, in the same division as Cook and Wilson. So we're going to hope that Caleb Williams falls to us, or even Jane Daniels in the same division as Barkley. So Jane Daniels falls to us, Drake May falls to us, Jalen Hurts falls to us. We're hoping that one of those QBs fall to us. Dak Prescott's in the same division, but we're not going to go and just grab it just to grab it. So those are, we're really hoping that quarterbacks just fall. Chris Godwin getting pulled up to 63. Chris Godwin rising more on DraftKings. Like he's we've said this every time just because they're players that we're overweight on. But Chris Godwin has risen up significantly on DraftKings while Jordan Addison has risen up significantly on Underdog. I don't know why one has risen up more than the other. I guess maybe you could say Godwin might be more of a PPR guy. So that's why he's risen up more on DraftKings. I don't know who is more of a touchdown catcher in a Kyler Murray offense. So it's hard to say that he should be the one rising up on Underdog, but he is. There goes Jayden Daniels. If there's one, I guess we wanted to go first, it's him, but hopefully we need some QBs to fall. Would be awesome. Would be awesome. Yeah, we got most of our TreVeyon shares on Underdog. I mean, sorry, on DraftKings, which like if he hits, ideally hits in a way where he's where he's paying off even more on DraftKings. So are we doing the right thing? I hope we are. I hope we are. Because we're over three times the field on. There goes Drake May. That's one of our targets. That's unfortunate. Another QB goes, and that's a double up on QB. So we don't want that as well, because that means that there's more likely that the rest of them go as well, right? There's just so many Chicago guys we have to dodge that there's almost no chance that Caleb Williams falls to us. Here's Burden. There goes Caleb Williams got doubled up, and there goes Hurts. Right, like once Caleb Williams gets doubled up, are those all the QBs? Yeah, that's all the QBs. Okay, so based on our ranks, though, we got some value here in Makai Lemon. There's Jordan Addison, by the way, who we have as a player also on our list. I think Jordan Addison's an interesting player for this team just because of the bring back on Chicago a little bit, I guess. A falling Kraft, which is a little bit unexpected. We could take Dart. And so one of the things we would be cognizant of is that almost all of our QB options that we have to stack are gone except for Wilson right now. So Dart goes. That's unfortunate. Herbert. There goes Lemon. Yeah, so none of these other guys are the ones we want, really. It's not often that you see a Stevenson. Oh, I keep on clicking by. This guy did take Stafford, stacked. He took Ramondre Stevenson. It's either Kraft and Tyson or Kraft and Addison. There is a chance that Addison gets back to us, possibly. We have tons of Addison already. We'll go Kraft, definitely with the first one. Gives us another stacking partner, hopefully in Green Bay. We only have 3 QBs right now. We are going to go Addison. We're going to pull up Addison here. It's going to give us, we're doing that. The reason I think we're doing that is because QBs just went crazy here. And in addition to going crazy, we got 2 teams with 2 elite QBs. And so we're hoping we can comfortably stack up 2 QBs here. Maybe like Love and Kyler Murray at 108 and 109. And if and if that doesn't happen, where's like Casey Conception? He goes at 122. And then maybe Concepcion gets to like 132, and then we feel really good about it. If things go really weird, we just take him at 109, although I don't like doing that. Oh, we could also get another Green Bay pass catcher, I think, around 109, right? Like Reed or something like that. We are overweight on Tucker Kraft and Jordan Addison. Are we overweight on Jordan Tyson as well? We are overweight on Tyson as well. So this guy has 5 wide receivers right now with 2 of the rookies at good prices. Good for him. He just stacked up Pearsall with Purdy. He did not get with the back stack with Harrison as well. This is one of the reasons why he won a draft on DraftKings, I think. Someone like Charbonnet going so early. Josh Downs and Concepcion are the best based on our targets. Romeo Dobbs is falling. There's Kyler Murray. There's Jordan Love. There's Patrick Mahomes. I think those are our 3 biggest targets for this team. If all of them go, we might just take like best available at running back again or something like that, as J.K. Dobbins at 108, if he's still there, is actually a nice pick as opposed to earlier. We'd rather the QBs, I think, get to us. Again, just because if we miss out on those QBs, we're looking rough. J.K. Dobbins goes. We would prefer that. Where's the Jordan Jefferson? The chances of us getting Kyler Murray are slim, I guess, right? Like this guy probably takes Kyler Murray right here. He did stack up Stafford. Or maybe he doesn't take him because he can get Baker Mayfield as well. You don't cut. And Patrick Mahomes is available. So if we don't get Kyler, maybe we just take Patrick Mahomes and try to stack him with Kelsey or something like that. Let's see what he does. Okay. He's passing on Patrick Mahomes. We don't have any KC players, so we're going to pass on him as well. We're going to take Kyler Murray. We're going to take Jordan Love. We'll let someone else take Patrick Mahomes at a nice value. I've seen a mock where like Tyson goes to KC. Maybe he can get Patrick Mahomes and then end up with a nice stack there. Nice value for both of them. Sam Darnold as his third QB. That's crazy. Seattle. He's got 0 Seattle guys. Okay, so he took Patrick Mahomes. Okay. So he did what I was thinking, but I thought maybe Mayfield would be the one he'd target, but he took Patrick Mahomes instead. He is it not stacked up, but a great value. He still needs another tight end. He'll probably take, if he gets to him, he'll take Kelsey with his next pick. I think that's around where he goes. There goes Reed, one of our Green Bay Packers. Pollard, I like that pick a lot. And he could end up in Washington if Tennessee drafts Love. So I like it even more for that reason. He could also get Ward later on, and then he has a Robinson Pollard Ward thing if Love doesn't go to Tennessee, which would also be nice. Although he already has Daniels and Williams, so I don't think he needs to do that. Uh, Casey Concepcion's definitely our next pick. If he gets to us. Matthew Golden got taken. That's a little bit unfortunate. We also have both Minnesota running backs, which I think are definitely targets also. This guy's got 6'4", 4'3", 5'4". This guy's only got two wide receivers, although he's going a little strange with his build. So, but he did take like Stevenson at an ADP value. I think he took Corum at an ADP value as well. So he might just stumble into Concepcion if somehow he makes it to me. Yeah, he's gonna just stumble. Like the chances of him, yeah, he didn't get to us. We didn't think he would, but it'd been nice if he did. We have three running backs right now: Cook, Barkley, Henderson. Isaiah likely goes. We don't need a third QB. If we do it, I think I like Goff more than okay. Should we do it? I don't see why not for the most part. Let's just do it. Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones. I've done this once or twice. We'll do it again. Okay, we're done at running back. We want to see running backs go hard now. Let's hope it happens. He passed up on Travis Kelce, which was a little wild. He passed up on him again and got Tyreek. Wow. Crazy. We have five running backs. We got two, hopefully, studs. We have a breakout, and then we have hopefully a monopolized backfield here where they don't bring anyone else in. Some of the mocks, you see them bring someone else in. But I mean, there's a chance that even if they bring someone in, these two are the two that prove their worth. I was considering like pulling up Cooper. Didn't do it though. We might, based on ranks, we got Boston coming up here. So Boston is a target. I think we essentially got to pass on Coleman or Brooks at 57 if either of them got to us because we did the two Minnesota thing. I was kind of hoping that one of them would get taken, so we did do both of them. But hopefully it makes sense for our build. It is bringbacks also on our Green Bay thing too. So like if it's a pass heavy game and it's Green Bay versus Minnesota, maybe Jones is on the field catching a ton of passes. He is getting his passes thrown by Kyler Murray though. So we do want to see running backs go, and they are not going. Hopefully, we just see them all fly off the board here. Where Geno Smith goes at 168 right now. We're not taking him at 157. We'll take him at 180 if he gets all the way to 180. We're not taking him at 157 though. And then where does our last Minnesota player in Hawkinson goes at 167? So we might pull up Hawkinson. Looks like tight ends are the ones that are going, um not wide receiver or not running back. Not that Hawkinson is an exciting pick with again Kyler Murray being the QB. There goes Brooks. Good. Get the running backs off the board. Stephon Diggs is I think those two picks have to take place before a TJ Hawkinson if they both are available. Travis Hunter's a fun pick, but it's getting to be a tougher pick with more and more news about him being cornerback centric, like full-time cornerback and stuff like that you hear. Oh, darn, there goes Diggs. There goes Coleman. Okay, I think um, Boston and Hawkinson make the most sense if they both get to us. This guy's only got three wide receivers. Okay, took neither. They took a tight end, which makes us even feel better about taking Hawkinson here. Um, let's do it. Don't know how I feel about Boston, but he is a value. So we didn't pass up on that one. So I didn't really say it earlier because I realized it probably wouldn't happen. But we did Addison for a couple. We passed up, if you call, on Tyson, and we took Addison instead. We did it for two reasons. One, we wanted to give ourselves a quarterback stack that was a decent one with Addison and Murray. We also knew that was like a bring back on Green Bay and Chicago type of thing. Um, we also did it because I was thinking at first like Casey Concepcion could get back to us with our next pick, which looking at the ADPs, that was going to be, you know, less likely. He almost did though. And then we also knew there was like the Omar Cooper and then the David Boston, and David Boston is one of the values. We can pull that up on the sheet if you don't believe me. Just kidding. But we knew there was other rookies essentially that we maybe want to target later on, and so get the player that's a stack, that's a veteran now, so we can feel better about investing in rookies later on. We have five wide receivers right now and five running backs. One, two, three, four. Four veterans and then one rookie. So we're in a good place. And we got two tight. We can stop at two running back or two QBs and two tight ends if we want to. That made it very easy for us to pass on someone like Geno Smith. But if he falls to us in the next round, I think it's fun to get these QBs down here. If you can get them at big values, I'm like never reaching up for them. We're done at running back, right? Because we got five running back. I mean, unless we get a huge value at running back, we're done at running back. But the thing is that we feel pretty good at QB. I mean, at wide receiver. Like I don't feel bad. Brown, Wilson, Odunze, Addison, thank you. Cook, Barkley, Henderson, thank you. Murray, Love, thank like I feel like I got a team already. I don't need, I feel like I almost have one, two, three, four, five, six free picks is kind of how I feel. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong. So what could we do here that would be like, what do they gotta say about Connor? Okay. He participated. Good for him. If there's one position we probably need more than the rest, it'd be wide receiver, just because we only have five, and usually teams are getting at least seven, if not eight. These are obviously some of our targets, depending on what's going on. I think Calvin Ridley can be as well. Emmett Johnson goes. He's getting some buzz again. Travis Hunter goes. I think we got a bunch of good targets here in our queue. Geno Smith goes. That's unfortunate. We'll remove AD Mitchell from our queue then. He was kind of in the queue in case we got the two. We really want Tesla and Ridley is what we want. If we don't get Tesla and Ridley, I don't really care what we get to a certain extent. 5, 6, 6, 3. So, but he passed on wide receiver last time to get Johnson and Tracy. Oh, there goes Ridley. That's unfortunate. We're going to miss out on Tesla too, probably. And then what the heck are we going to do? Take Dell is ugly. Christian Kirk is ugly. Do we just take AD Mitchell because he's at least a bring back? It's like these are the ugliest. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. I think we just go for the upside of this is just there's nothing, but there's nothing really that we need there. There's nothing we need there. There's definitely nothing we need there. We're just gonna take Tank Dell, AD Mitchell, and not be happy about it. Things were looking so promising with these picks, and then that happened. And then that happened. There goes Brian Robinson Jr. I like that pick a lot. We don't need it for our team. Like, we don't need another safe guy. If like Singleton gets to us at 204, that might be a fun one or something like that. Marshawn Lloyd at the very end of the draft, someone that no one's drafting that has super explosiveness as like a last pick if we can't find something better. No one's doing it. I drafted Lloyd once just because, he was one of my higher drafted guys last year and it didn't work out. It would stink to not draft him at all. And then he does work out. Like you'd be kicking yourself so hardcore. You need him at least on one team, right? The Mitchell pick is such a tough pick just because there's a chance he gets bumped uh out of that like number two role, even though he was really making it happen in that number two role. No one to take based on rank. Two is still available. Tank Bigsby, there's Singleton. Like these are like all decent players to do. There's Aaron Rodgers. think Aaron Rodgers is more interesting than Tua. And then where did he already go? Freiermuth looks like he was already drafted. Yeah, he was. So you can't, so that makes Aaron Jones less appealing. Not really a, I think that's the most fun pick right there. If you may, I think Bigsby goes. So I don't even have to think about that one. Even the rookie wide receivers here, I just not a fan. There's nothing that I want with this pick. Maybe the upside tight end to go along with, I mean, I think he's the biggest upside tight end to go along with my two, the risky and the Singleton's the first one. Because Kraft is coming off an injury. Hawkinson's got Kyler Murray passing to him. Ferguson could take that step forward and have a huge year. We're just going to do that. Okay, so we are trying to make our way to a standard build, even though we didn't think we were going to get there. But we'll probably just stick with the two QBs most likely. If like, did someone already take Penix too? Someone did way up here. Okay. We would have considered a Rogers Fryermuth stack here just because we didn't need anything at all. I like the Singleton pick though because he's such high upside of a pick. We are not getting the Marshawn Lloyd though now because of that. So that's a little unfortunate that that's not going to happen. There goes Simpson. There's Aaron Rodgers still if we wanted something there. And then wide receiver, Bernard is expected to get decent draft capital. Chris Bell's been my guilty pleasure just because of the upside. Dontavian Wicks as a stack. You can do the Ty Felton as well, but we already got so many. We got so many Minnesota guys that I don't think we want to do that here. Elijah Surratt. Bernard goes. rookie running back goes. Just trying to reference the NFL, like some Jermaine Bernard would have been, I think, a nice one just based on where he's expected to get drafted in the second round. Brazel, we kind of passed up on him. Chris Bell's the next one that's expected to be drafted. You can see some of these other guys goes. I think these are our three targets. We got a 2-6. We got two rookies already, right? Is that correct? We got Boston. We got one rookie in Boston. We have one rookie in Boston. We're going to take Rodgers with our first pick. If we can get a QB with a starting QB the entire season with that pick, and this would be our eighth wide receiver. We got some question marks down here at the bottom, so we have four that are good. Wicks and Bell would be question marks. We're going to go Bell. We are going to go Bell. I'm hoping that I think it makes sense to take Bell pre-draft, maybe, because if he does get really high draft capital, which is possible with how excited people are for, like how athletic people say he is. Antonio Williams had gone before, so we couldn't even go after him if we wanted to. If he does end up with like second round draft capital, does he start rising up the boards? And you don't really want to take him if he's rising up the boards because he's got the torn ACL thing going on. But if you can get him as a last round pick, is there a higher upside last round pick? And like even Aaron Rodgers in the second last round, is there? I mean, you can say the same thing maybe for Kirk Cousin and Watson. They all have their own risks, but I think when you get into like the last round, second last round, throwing on another quarterback almost like probably never hurts because he's probably going to get you some points. In marathon, ended up with like Rodgers as my fourth QB, and he was like my best QB out of all of them. And he got me a pay, not a big payout, but a payout because of it. So I think it makes sense to do that at times. So we got a 3.683. We ended up being standard. This draft was looking really good, if you asked me, up until the 15th round. And then in the 15th round, we just kind of had to draft some guys to fill out a team. None of them did I feel like super excited about. They just were who they were. And really, again, that 15th round, like in the 15th round, halfway through it, we were feeling pretty good. We had Travis Hunter, Geno Smith, Calvin Ridley, Isaac Tesla, all players that we would have been like super excited to draft because they would do something for our team, whether it was like immense upside at wide receiver, uh, undervalued wide receiver, maybe. Like, I don't know. I wasn't super excited to get to Ridley, but at 180, when I haven't drafted much at all, I'll do it. Or a QB to stack, or a bring back on our NFC North stuff. But all those players got taken, and what do we end up with? Tank Dell and AD Mitchell, two uninspiring picks, but there's nothing that we really need. We don't need another running back, especially probably not a running back that's just kind of like a backup type of thing, which all these guys are, with not much hope outside of injury to get the starting job. Considering what we already have at running back, I think we want to shoot for the upside. And so I think Singleton makes more sense for this roster. So that's why we skip on the running backs here. Um, we could have taken a tight end, but since we missed out on Geno Smith, taking Mason Taylor there, like we could have said that we take Taylor instead of AD Mitchell or something like that instead. And I think Ferguson has more upside though, being in a heavy personnel type of offense, at least in the last year. So this I think makes more sense from a upside perspective. Um, Taylor is correlated better with the team a little bit. And I guess Taylor's see, the reason I haven't drafted much Mitchell recently is just because more concerned that New York Jets sign a wide receiver with their draft a wide receiver with their first pick, and does that then kick AD Mitchell down the pecking order, and then does that like eliminate most of his value that we're getting here at this point? So you could then say, well, to not lose out on that value, just take the tight end because you know the tight end's gonna have a role, or you feel like that's more safe of a role. So you could do something like that if you wanted to. But um I think it's fine either way. I think Ferguson's the more exciting tight end. I think out of all these tight ends that are available over here, Ferguson's I'm not saying he's the best tight end. I think he's the most exciting tight end out of all of them. A second year tight end just like Taylor, but on a I think a more exciting offense for him potentially. There has been some coach speak that Taylor though is like they're excited for him. So who knows? Who knows how much to trust in that? Getting Aaron Rodgers at the end of the draft doesn't do anything except give us another QB, assuming he goes to Pittsburgh, which I think most people expect at this point. Um, really liked the beginning of our draft, liked how we stacked this up here. Again, it was just when we got to this pick 15 thing that it started to look ugly. Let's see, 3683. Right here is another 3683 team. He went with Stafford before us with Murray. Then he took the falling Patrick Mahomes. I like it. He passed on the Travis Kelce. Where did Kelce go? Right. He went all the way over here. Wow. He passed on Kelce to get Tyreek Hill. And that would have been okay. You could have had a Loveland Kelce, two tight. I think I'm not a fan of that. I think you got to get Kelce there, if you ask me. Past ADP, you basically finish up your tight ends and you stack him up because right now he's not stacked at all, I don't think, right? Yeah, so that's not good. And then I got a third QB in Kirk Cousins. Does he have any Las Vegas? He got Naylor, so at least I guess he's got it. Was he the one that took Genty? No, he didn't take Genty. So he's got that one stacked a little bit, I guess, because he's got Naylor. I think it's hard to envision Kirk Cousins finishing the season at QB. I think it's easier to envision Rodgers being the QB for the entire year in Pittsburgh. That's why I'm intrigued. If there was a good chance that Rodgers wasn't going to be the starter at the end of the season, I don't think I'd draft him at all. But if Rodgers has a chance to be a starter for the entire year, you hope that he can score once or twice throughout the entire season. Murray and Love have some injury history, so maybe he plays an even bigger part and scores more because of that injury history. And who knows? Maybe he's still there in the playoffs and you get lucky for some reason and you have a Rodgers score in the playoffs. But I have no other Pittsburgh players, so you're probably not benefiting too much from that score there. Uh, so whatever, he's fine at QB as well. I just like the Rodgers more than the Kirk Cousins, but I could be told proven wrong. At running back, we both got six. Um, I had three before he did. Let's see if he then caught up. Wow. Three. I had three before he did. I had my third when he had a second. We both got our fifth at the same. Is it our fifth? One, two, three. Our fourth at the same time. I got my fifth. Then around later, he got his fifth. Then he got his sixth. Then Kamara, and we waited a while for Singleton to get our sixth. I think they're fine. 6 and 6 as far as running back goes here. I like my obviously I took mine earlier, which makes it easier. Um, I think we have the more solid running back room. I think we have the more I think we have the more dynamic and stacked QB room. So I like us at running back and QB at what and this is when you get Loveland early, it makes it hard, right? So at we'll see about that. At wide receiver, he's got Jefferson, Adams. He passed on Kyler Murray here. Instead, he took Pittman, then Mahomes. If he would have taken Kyler Murray here, then we would have taken Mahomes and Love, right? And then we would have then taken um, Mason and Kelsey here to stack up. And then here we would have taken, this would have been a tough pick right here. I don't know what we would have done with that pick. It would have been a tough one as far as what we do with this pick. We wouldn't have taken Hawkinson, I can tell you that much. Maybe Emmett Johnson is what we do there, possibly. Keaton Mitchell, maybe right there. Once he's something like that, a running back, um, is probably what we do right there. Or Travis Hunter, but I don't know. Probably running back. So that our life could have changed a lot. But at wide receiver, we both have two at the same time, even though his is earlier. We both have three at the same time. He brought up Godwin a ton. I got Odunze on a nice fall. That's four. One, two, three. That's four. I got my fifth earlier than he did. Then he got his fifth. He got his sixth and Tyreek Hill, a huge upside, a lot of downside. I got Boston, similar, I guess, as far as upside and downside goes. Then he got Naylor. Then I got Dell. Then we both got Mitchell and Kirk. He got Cup. And then I waited till then for Bell. So he's on the heavier side of 8. I'm on the lighter side of 8. I think we're both fine with it. Does Cup, is that a stack? Was he the one that got? No, it's not a stack. I think him getting, I mean, he could have gotten only one of these two guys, maybe, or got something different. It's a lot of veterans, whatever. And then at tight end, he went early with the Loveland pick. I went a little later with the slightly falling Kraft. And then I went Hawkinson and then Ferguson, and he waited all the way till the end and got Dulcich and Ingram. Ingram is a bring back on Mahomes, which I guess is nice, right? So he's got that going for him at least, if anything. Although the just what Denver did at tight end with him last year makes it hard to pick him at all, but I guess we can justify it here. Just grabbing two way late tight ends to go along with Loveland. If you're going to do 3, I think that's the way to do it. In general, I waited a little later to get my first tight end. I could have stopped at 2. I just didn't have any better picks, and I felt Ferguson maybe added the most juice to the team at that point. And so I took him there. You could argue for Pat Bryant, maybe. Or one of the rookies, Chris Brazzell, Bernard, Surratt, Williams, I guess. But I think with the rest of my wide receivers, and I think with the rest of my wide receivers combined with a currently injured first tight end and then a Kyler Murray target second tight end, Ferguson probably does the best there. Okay. Last but not least, how many players did we get that we're targeting? Not as many. We passed on a couple, actually, is what happened. Let's pull up our chart really quick and get this over with. Values, let's go with risers first. We never Cooper didn't fall to us. We were like in a weird pocket at the end of the draft where you can't get. We did pass on Tyson. We passed on Tyson, who's a riser and a value to get Jordan Addison, who's more of a proven commodity that we stacked. I think we can justify it a little bit. We didn't have an option. We didn't have a chance for these other players unless we drafted them earlier. We didn't take any of the fallers. We were hoping that Tootin would fall to us, but he didn't. We got some platform values though. I know that. Again, we missed out on time. We got Addison, who's a platform value. He goes at 83, and Tyson goes at what did he go? 71. So we do lose out on a lot of value by taking Addison instead of Tyson. You can tell me I was an idiot for doing this. And you might be right. You might be wrong. I don't know. I feel like an idiot when losing out on all that potential value there, which I saw here, 84 versus 97, right? So tell me I'm wrong. I think there's a decent chance I'm wrong on that one. But we got Addison, we got Denzel Boston, we got Trevion Henderson. So we ended up with three of them we passed up on. But I guess we weren't getting both of these guys unless we didn't take someone, right? Because they're both at the same place, right? We would have had to pass up on Kraft. We could have taken if we pass up on Kraft, then the Jordan Love pick isn't as exciting either. So that's what's tough is are we building a team with a little bit of correlation so that it has juice in the playoffs if it gets there, or are we just trying to draft based on the ADP at all? I think we did the right thing, but I'd love if you told me I was wrong and could tell me why I was wrong and what I could have done differently. We could have gone Tyson and Addison or Tyson and Kraft, and then got either Murray or Love along with Mahomes if we knew he was going to fall to this far. But you never know if that's going to happen, right? Like so that's tough to do. And then after that, it looks we also could have done something, and then right here gotten Higgins and Stroud. That's sometimes available here at the end at this point here. And if we go Higgins, Stroud, then we could go Schultz at 157 if we wanted to. I don't know what Schultz ADP is. I think it's like around the same 174. Yeah, and Hawkinson's 167. So he's even further along. So 174. We hope he gets it here, which you wouldn't have, most likely. Okay. Tell me that I'd love your opinion on if I screwed it up here at the 6-7 turn with no, sorry, the 7-8 turn with Kraft and Addison. And should I have taken the falling Tyson, which I did not do. Okay. See you on the next one. Peace.